All right. My man Christian. We're live on YouTube, brother.
How you doing, brother?
Let's go ahead and get this started. So today we'll talk about entrepreneurship and credit. Credit and how really credit is designed for entrepreneurs, not for non-entrepreneurs, but for entrepreneurs. So that's what I want to talk about today. Let's go ahead and get started. So, what is an entrepreneur to you, Christian? Let's start with that. A lot of people have different definitions of entrepreneurship.
I would say myself, entrepreneur means being your own boss and not relying on anyone else's income, but solely on the performance of yourself, and being dependent on yourself for the results, for your success.
Okay.
That's my
I think that's what a lot of entrepreneurs do. They become their own boss. So everything that you've described definitely is something that an entrepreneur does. But I think an entrepreneur covers a bigger spectrum than that. So to me, the concept, the principle of an entrepreneur is someone who simply sees a problem and wants to find a solution, wants to make something better, right? So if I see a business, I want to make a better one. If I'm an employee at a company, I want to make it better because I see all the problems that the current company. You there, bro? Did I lose you?
Yeah. You lost me for 5 seconds.
Huh, was that me or you? That's weird. Okay. Did you hear that last part that I said?
Yeah, the last part you said that entrepreneurs are people that fix problems. If you work at a workplace, we're there to fix problems. Or if we see businesses that need problems to be fixed, that's what entrepreneurs are there for.
Or make things better, right? Which is the same thing as fixing problems, right? So what do you think about that? Does that make sense? Does that concept make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. The thing that I'm trying to get at it or trying to discover is how do you develop the mind to see those problems?
Well, I believe that it starts from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
It starts from the heart to, for instance, if you're walking on the street, right, and you see some trash on the street, okay, do I pick it up? Do I pick it up, right? If I'm with the homeless person and I see someone who's asking for money, do I give that person money? Do I help that person, that homeless person? Now, here's why I'm using those two examples specifically. Okay, the latter one, it involves giving money, so I have to be aware if I'm in a position to give money. I may not be in a position to give money, right? That just means I need to put myself in a position where I can give money, where I have plenty of it. But in that first situation, right, if I see trash right in front of where I'm walking, do I bend down and pick it up? If I see trash about 10 feet away, do I go out of my way to go pick it up? See, it doesn't require any money for me to go pick it up. Do I do it out of the goodness of my heart because I see a problem, trash, and the solution is to clean? Do I pick it up? It starts from there. It truly starts from there.
Gotcha. So it starts from the goodness of your heart.
Right. Because otherwise, if I'm only driven to be quote unquote a problem solver based on getting paid, guess what my level of performance is going to be? It's going to be based on what I believe I'll get paid, which already limits my belief. And then my actions and everything is going to be based on what I see other people that are getting paid or what I believe that other people are getting paid to do are doing. You can't read someone's heart. You can only see their actions. Right? Does that make sense?
I think, well, what's your perspective? Is it a training? It takes training, right? To form the condition of your heart, right? Like the like the you know like the give I'm giving, you know, you give and you give and you become accustomed to that, or what would you say?
That's right. That's right. And the best training grounds is at home. Right? The best training grounds is looking for the small little things to fix. See, a lot of people tend to want to fix the big things, but usually the big things, a lot of people can fix. Most people can fix the big things, right? But it's the small little things in a company. It's the small little things that create the big problems over time, right? It's the small little things that are being overlooked that most people don't want to quote unquote invest their time in and do because they don't see the value in that when it comes to money. But if it's not about the money, it's the small little things that add up to making the big difference. Right? So it's practicing the small little things.
Yeah,
That's how I look at
you
it.
hit it. Yeah, you hit it on the nail. It's like practicing those daily habits at home, practicing, you know, with our wives or with our kids, and then we could, you know, practice it onto the world.
Exactly. Exactly. It'll just happen naturally. You don't even have to try. If you can be if you can be good at home as a husband, as a father, I mean, there ain't nothing harder than that, bro. Then you're the ultimate entrepreneur.
Possibilities are endless.
Right? Then it's just a matter of spending a little time learning. Yeah, then it's just a matter of time spending a little time, adding to your arsenal of products and services, right? But there's no job or entrepreneurship more important and harder than being a husband and a father. Nothing.
That makes a lot of sense. And I mean,
So that's that. Yeah, that's that with entrepreneurship. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say many of us don't look at it that way. That everything starts from home because we're so quick to wanting quick results, and
Well, yeah, because
that's what
because if in this consumer driven world, we need, what do businesses need ultimately? They need consumers. So how do you get a consumer to keep consuming? You got to get them addicted to stuff, and you got to offer fast results, right? That's where the entrepreneurs of this country have led us, right? And that in itself is a problem. So there's a lot of opportunity in work for to be done, so that we can provide these pleasures and these comfortable luxuries to the consumers, right? But at the same time, for it to last, in the long run, not just consume, right, food and services, but consume long-term wealth, long-term health, long-term happiness. These are the things that I believe are going to be the driving force of the next generation, right? And that's what we can bring. That's what we can bring to this next generation, starting with us. I mean, when we actually sit down and start doing it, waking up every day and doing these action items, we realize, wow, we realize how weak we really are, right? And it's a result and consequence of being too comfortable, living with too much freedom. There is such a thing, and then look at all these diseases that are happening these days. Like, that's not by chance that 30-year-olds are getting knocked out by cancer and strokes. 30-year-olds. When if you really look at their life, right, a lot of the health issues you can track it back to, okay, is it because they're starving? Is it because they were working so hard, being overworked and with starvation? Not even close. It's the exact opposite. It's because they're not working. They're in front of a computer half their life, sitting down half their life, inactive most of their life, eating things that are not organic most of their life. I mean, that's what I've been doing most of my life. And then consuming, what are we consuming? Alcohol, smoke, right? Whatever it is, all kinds of pills. We live in a society where it's mostly pills, right? Dangerous stuff, right? Dangerous stuff. And now on top of that, we got 5G internet. We're going to be advancing to 6G, 7G. We're going to be more in, a stagnant situation where kids in our generation, I mean, they don't go to the playground. They go straight to their games. They go straight to their games. People complain. Look at how people complain being in traffic, driving. I mean, you're not going to hear complaints about someone walking or how difficult it is to go on a trek. It's people complaining about traffic, staying in a car, their luxurious car, and complaining about traffic, road rage happening in traffic, anger and frustration happening on the road. We should be thankful for driving. You go back about 2-3 generations, hey, they be looking at us be like, what are you complaining about? You're in a car, you have clothes, you have shoes,
You have AC.
Your feet are you have so much, your shoes are so protected, it's got no callus, it's so soft. You touch it with a little toothpick and you're gonna scream like a baby, right? That's not how people walked that's not how people's feet were back in the day. It's like they didn't have no shoes, right? Toothpicks didn't hurt their feet. You could walk on fire. So, a little bit of insight on how we should look at the word entrepreneurship, right? If you look at it that way, everyone is an entrepreneur. Everyone should be an entrepreneur. Everyone should want to make our lives, our society, our children's lives, our futures a better place. Then all of these things that we have, all these luxuries, what a great blessing to have all these things, right? While we're still making our life and our world a better place.
Man.
There's nothing to complain about.
Yeah, that takes us back to the quick results. We're so accustomed to everything being so easy. And when the tide gets rough, that's when we start I'm trying to find a word to put it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we just want to be fed. Fed, fed. I want to be fed. I want to be fed. Feed me. I want to be fed. I want to be fed. You know, if we switch that, that's selfishness, to selflessness, who can I feed? Who can I feed? Who can I feed? How can I feed? Who can I feed? Right? We'll get there. Right? That's more of the entrepreneurial spirit, the entrepreneurial mindset. Who can I help? Who can I serve? What can I do? Who can I feed? There's no
And
way you don't people with that mindset.
the opposite is how can I eat?
Right. Right. It's the completely opposite mindset.
Because when you reverse it, you start creating, right? How can
Correct.
how
You start
can I
giving.
help?
Right. It's so easy to answer that question. How can I help? So easy. Because if I'm helping without the expectation of getting anything back or getting money, or I got no fear, I'm just going to fire away. And
That
if
is
they
true.
tell me no, I move on to the next person. I wasn't expecting anything.
Yes.
Okay. So now, how do we tie that to credit? Okay. How is credit one of the first most valuable tools for an entrepreneur? Let's talk about that.
Now, society. Well, I'm going to speak for how much I know. No one really teaches you about credit, and that's what brought us on this YouTube, because I want to learn about how to leverage credit and make some income or become more, get into the entrepreneurship, right?
Correct. Okay, so let's use that logic right there. Good. Okay. So I want to use credit to make more income. That's not good enough. That's not far enough. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have to first figure out, what can I do to help people? That's where it starts. And then the credit is going to be used to help people. And then when you help people, it's going to turn into money. And so that's how the result of money happens, when you have something that you're going to use, when you have a strategy or a plan to help someone. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first thing is, right, wanting and figuring out how to help people. What do I help people with? Okay, so let's start there, and then figuring out how to use credit to do that. Right? We can write a lot of ideas on paper, and then we can make a decision, a mathematically probably a mathematically advantageous decision, right? And look at the risk versus the reward on that. So let's figure that out first. How do we help, and what do we help? What do we want to make better in this world, in our lives, right, in our communities?
I would say, well, I kind of just got a little like flash where kind of visualizing, say, in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing around you, but there's a community. Just say a fair sized community, and then you provide a solution so they don't have to make that 2-3 hour drive. So I would say, put a little store there or something. Just an idea.
Okay,
I mean, I know
okay.
how. Uh-huh.
What kind of store?
I would say
I
just a
like
little
where you're going.
super, or not. I mean, it's a little small little supermarket um, that provides value to them, but also we're leveraging our credit to provide a solution.
Okay, So something like that. What you're saying is you want to go into suburban areas where, um, you know, people have to drive far to go closer to a city to where they can go
Yeah,
find
it was just an idea.
product.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's good, right? I'm going to use that. Now, the reason why economically it might not make sense because in those suburban areas, everyone is so far apart. You do not have enough people to sustain in that area, right? That's probably why, for instance, in a city, you have 10,000 people, let's say. In a suburban area, you go out, you're going to have maybe 5 people, right? In a given mile, right? So in a given mile, for 5 people to have that luxury or that comfort to go a short distance to buy whatever they want at that location, what do they need? They need to pay a lot more. They need to pay maybe 20, 30 times more for that luxury, for that comfort, right? So there's some trade-off there. Okay, but I like that concept. Okay, I like that concept. So in those kind of communities, okay, there's there's let's say, what kind of value can you bring them? How about bringing those people together, right? Because in a city world, in a city area, there's a lot of interaction with people, but in those suburb areas, maybe there's not as much interaction. So what if you uh, got those people together, on a Saturday once a month, and maybe created a monthly neighborhood get together, right? And then at this get together, you get to know, like, hey, um, what are some things that you know we can put together here as a community, right? That can make it easier so that every time someone's going out there to like buy stuff, hey, why don't we, collaborate? But maybe that's a start. Gathering the community, holding a maybe an HOA. I don't know.
Hmm.
If usually they don't have HOAs in suburbs, right? So it's kind of like an HOA concept, right? And you, as a real estate agent, can be the central point of the organizer. You organize these events, and maybe at first you have to invest some money to organize these events, but you do the first one, but if everyone likes it, okay, you know what? I see value in this. I see value in getting the community together. And now maybe you need a credit line to go buy the materials, the party materials, the food, right? So that you can get it going. But then anyone who wants to come to the next one, hey, chip in some money, right? Chip in some money so we can keep this going, right? Meanwhile, you're the real estate agent or whatever service provider you are that put it together. So, hey, by the way, uh, if you're ever looking to move, or if you know anyone that's looking to move into this community or in any community, right? This is what I do. This is what I do. And you organize these events, these community events, where you're actually getting together with the community, the neighborhoods, the neighbors. Right? Do you see that? Do you see how you took a simple concept that you had, and you can apply it in different ways, right?
Hmm.
Similar concept. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good concept, and I think you could do that concept anywhere. You can form
Absolutely.
nice little get-togethers in every neighborhood, and that can provide
Absolutely.
relationships, leads, a lot of things it can
Absolutely.
create.
And what's the investment on that? Some pizzas, some sodas, some beers. I
Yeah.
mean, what? A few $100, maybe get one of those, to attract the kids, get one of those jumpers and get some games going out there. Bring your kids, get all the kids together and make it more fun and educational. Maybe have some pamphlets ready. Maybe have some news ready. There's a lot of different ways but again, the goal isn't to sell anything. It's to get the community together. because neighbors just don't get together these days anymore. Neighborhoods don't even know each other's names. Hey, how about get to know your neighbor, you know, event? Huh? Get to know my
Wow,
neighbor.
yeah.
Okay,
That's a great
like,
idea.
huh? Something like that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So you start with the idea, you start with the strategy, and then you determine, okay, and you start small, and then you determine, okay, how can I use my credit to create that kind of environment, that kind of opportunity, invest in that, because someone's got to invest in the food, the organize the time and do that, right? But then if you believe in it and you know that there could be good results, then it's a small investment worth taking. It's a small risk worth taking, right?
That's a great idea.
Okay. That's how we would use credit to invest in a business opportunity. And that to me is a business, is providing a service. And, if people like it and they want to come back, they'll pay for the food next time. They'll bring some food next time. Right? And if you get one or two real estate transactions, hey, whoever gets a deal on you, be going. And meanwhile, the kids are becoming friends and they want to hang out more, and voila, you got a new community that's sharing and growing and building together.
Hmm. That makes me. That makes you think a lot.
Yeah, it's easy, simple.
Yeah. I think we should. Well, we should probably see if we could do these Zooms on credit for educational purposes for individuals that, like myself, that don't know about credit, that have a good credit, score. I mean, but no one out there is teaching you what you can do with your credit, or how credit works, or what the credit score means. I mean, to some of us, it just means a number. Oh, I have an 800 credit score. But what does an 800 credit score really mean? And there's a lot of things we can talk about.
Yeah, I mean, really, a credit is a tool for an entrepreneur to go start a business, right? To bring value to a community and then earn income from it, right? Because when you bring value to a community, you're going to earn income and earn wealth. Right? That's how it works. Very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone has it deep inside what they want to do. They have something. Maybe they want to cook for people. Well, take a credit line, right? Go get one of those barbecue grills and cook for people outside. A portable barbecue grill, get some food and cook for people. Hey, come to that neighborhood event and bring some food and a barbecue. We'll go ahead and pay you, $5 per taco, on our monthly get together, right? Organize. And people have, they have this thing that they want to try. But see, if they start off like, I need to get an 800 credit score, borrow $1 million to buy $1 million franchise to do a restaurant for me to really serve and help and make money. If it's about making money with the business, then you'll never get there, right? You can start now, something small, and go out there. And if you want to open up a restaurant, you want to be like the #1 restaurant in the country, start with being the best cook in your neighborhood, in your home, right? A lot of the services that are successful, it starts in the home, starts in the heart. And you just get it going. Start now, do something small and do it now. And if you do that, you have a little confidence,
Even if you make $1, right? Making $1 and getting started is better than waiting 20 years until I can get that opportunity, that perfect location, and have a perfect marketing plan. It doesn't work like that, right? You start now, little by little, one by one. Go ahead and end there for now. And
Yes,
look
sir.
forward to the next one.
Yeah, me
Take
too.
care, brother. Good job.